Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic, and this week we are casting Thoughtseize in Standard. So let's talk about our super sweet, super cheap Mono Black Treasure Discard deck. Jump into some games, see it in action. Alright, so here is our Mono Black Treasure Discard deck, and as you can see, it's ridiculously cheap. Arena, 13 total rares and mythics, I think. Paper, 35 bucks, so like super ultra budget. Moto, a single tick, so about as cheap as a deck can get. So we're built around Tergrid got it. Fright. That's our big payoff. Tergrid, we actually like both halves in this deck. The Fright half, if we make our opponent sack or discard, we get to steal the permanent that they sack or discard. Backside makes our opponent sack or discard, and in the late game can be a pretty good finisher. We can untap it a few times, make our opponent empty their hand, sack a bunch of stuff, eventually just drain them out of the game. So the main goal of our deck, other than emptying our opponent's hand, is to get down a Tergrid, use it to steal sweet stuff, and use that sweet stuff to kill our opponent. We do have a little bit of sacrifice stuff in the deck in Soul Shatter, but really we're a discard deck. Soul Shatter just solid removal, especially against Goldspan Dragon, plus since it forces our opponent to sacrifice their best creature or planeswalker, highest mana value creature or planeswalker. If we have Tergrid down, we get to steal it, which is really powerful. Then we have a bunch of discard. Acquisitions Expert, Elder Fang, just 2-drops that make our opponent discard when they come into play. Inscription of Ruin I really like. It's a mind rot, but it can also reanimate a 2-drop, or it can kill a small creature. If we get up a lot of mana, we can even kick it, and having some treasure synergies helps there. Pelagga Predation gives us discard that is also part of our mana base. And then we have a little sacrifice treasure package. This is a treasure part of the deck. Eye Twitch for sacrificing to grab a lesson. Deadly Dispute, sacrifice card draw and a treasure. Skullport makes a treasure and can sacrifice stuff to draw cards. So along with generating card advantage and keep us churning through our deck to find discard to find our Tergrid, these cards also support our discard plan because of Devour Intellect. Devour Intellect, just 1 mana target player discards a card unless we cast it with treasure mana, and then it is literal Thoughtseize without any loss of life in Standard. So this allows us to do some sweet things where you like make treasures in the early game, get up to 6 mana, play Tergrid, immediately Devour Intellect, take our opponent's best permanent from their hand, steal with Tergrid, in theory use that to kill our opponent and win the game. Otherwise, a bit of removal, mana base, a bunch of swamps with our MDFCs, sideboard, a bunch of lessons, and that is Mono Black Treasure Discard for post-rotation Standard. And that's our Budget Magic deck for this week. So let's jump into some games, see if we can use Tergrid and our discard in our Standard Thoughtseize to steal some sweet stuff from our opponent. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap-up. Looking for some sweet new Dungeons & Dragons Adventures in the Forgotten Realms cards? Well, you can order them now from our sponsor Card Kingdom by heading over to cardkingdom.com. Budget Magic time. We are playing some Mono Black Discard, Treasure Discard in post-rotation Standard 2022. And this hand looks pretty reasonable. Luminarch Aspirant. Well, that is annoying. I guess we can Soul Shatter it eventually. And let's play the land, no attacks. Opponent. Righteous Valkyrie. Goes attacking. Alright, no blocks. I'll play a land, pass the turn. Well, Soul Shatter. Get rid of the Valkyrie. This is a problem, though. Opponent's got a bunch of big things. And we're getting beaten down. Well, Inscription of Ruin. Destroy the Valkyrie. I mean, our removal's kind of coming through. We've gotten through double Righteous Valkyrie, which is kind of insane. Luminar. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Hopefully. Okay. They grow it evenly. That means we get the sweep here, which is what we wanted. Opponent passes, Crippling Fear. Wow. Okay, hit ya. Double Aspirant, double Righteous Valkyrie. We're still in this game. Opponent, gonna kill the Eye Twitch. That is acceptable. We will snag Environmental Sciences. We draw land. Well, okay. Land and Tergrid's Lantern. Go. Opponent passing. Well, Lantern time. Opponent. Are we going to win this? That was a ridiculous start for our opponent. Oh, that's a draw. That is a draw. Actually, let's do this first. Lantern. Okay. Inscription. Clear the hand. It would be sweeter if we had Tergrid out, but we will take this. Opponent out of cards. Environmental Sciences. Grab a swamp. Oh, now we're where we want to be. Now we can get down the Tergrid, not have to worry too much about what our opponent's doing. Luminarch Aspirant, that's acceptable. Well, Tergrid. Real version. Both sides on the battlefield. Take 3. And opponent done. All right. That was an impressive start for our opponent, and our deck kept up. Our budget deck managed to keep up. Triple Luminarch Aspirant, double Righteous Valkyrie. That's a hand that beats a lot of decks, but budget discard. Finding a way to survive. Sweet. Budget magic time. We are playing some mono black discard, treasure discard, in standard 2022. And this hand's not bad. We got a Tergrid. We got some removal. We have many Tergrids. Well, acquisitions expert. Double Tergrid's not bad because getting one on the Lantern side is actually pretty helpful. So opponent, they're playing Izzet, but oh, they're playing Grixis. Okay. Foretells. Well, land Eye Twitch. Hit ya. Come on, land. Or a way to sack Eye Twitch would be fine. All right, there's the red mana. Opponent. All right, opponent's also playing discard. Well, there's Skullport Merchant. I mean, we're ahead on board. The problem is our opponent could be playing sweepers. Oh, if we get to untap, this is pretty good, though, because Skullport can start sacking Eye Twitches, drawing his cards, and hitting our land drops. All right, more Skull Raids. Let's sack an Eye Twitch. Actually, that's silly. That's silly. Let's go to combat. Attack ya. Sack an Eye Twitch. Grab Environmental Sciences. Environmental Sciences. Get a swamp. Pass the turn. Opponent. Swamp. Battle of Frost and Fire. Well, that's not great for us. Pass summonings. Well, Inscription of Ruin. Make you discard. Eye Twitch. Go. Our opponent's the one that's had all the discard this game. And they had the sweeper too, which is annoying. So opponent gets to scry a bunch. All 3 to the top. Good God. Going to draw some of those 3. Expressive Iteration. Draws a couple cards. Hits the land drop. Plays the land. Foretells. Well, Skullport Merchant. Go attacking. We'll see. Little bit worried about where we're at now, because this is probably Alrund's Epiphany. And Alrund's Epiphany is kind of insane here. Land. Because it also lets our opponent loot with this Battle of Frost and Fire. Expressive Iteration. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's better than Alrund's Epiphany. What is this then? Card draw? Elderfang Disciple. Plays Elderfang. Opponent's trying to do something similar to what we're doing. Well, opponent did not get that much value out of that Battle in Frost and Fire. I mean, it did sweep our board, but we don't have that much mana, do we? Let's take Necrotic Fumes, which we're probably going to discard. Discard Necrotic Fumes. Skullport Part 2. Play the land. I guess we might as well attack. What does our opponent have foretold? Plays a land. 2 cards. 1 foretold, 1 in hand. Ambitious attack. So our opponent has another sweeper. Shadow's Verdict. Well, sack a Skullport Merchant, draw a card. Crippling Fear doesn't seem great. Opponent passes. Well, we will pass the turn. Opponent passes. More swamps. Pass the turn. Boy, we could use the Tergrid so much. Opponent untaps. Passes. We draw. Deadly Dispute. I don't play the land. Pass the turn. Being able to sack a treasure to draw is nice. Opponent. They could have counters. Land. Well, Deadly Dispute a treasure. All right, so it was a saw coming. Oh, that mana would have been, or those cards would have been nice. Opponent passes. Flunk. Well, I mean, we're not going to die to creatures, which I guess is good. Opponent untaps. Professor Onyx. Well, Soul Shatter. Opponent gets to draw a card. Wow, mills some good ones too. Oh dear. We're drawing all this creature removal that just is not doing anything. Land. Tergrid's Lantern. Oh, opponent's drawing their Tergrids. Why can we not draw our Tergrids? We will take 3. Yeah, this is going to be an issue. Like, if we just continue to not draw anything, this Lantern is a real clock. It's the clock that we've been hoping for, but have been unable to draw. Acquisitions Expert, make you discard. Get rid of the soul. We need to draw some real cards. Pass the turn. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Where's our Tergrid? We're the Tergrid deck. We're 35 cards left in our library and have not found a single Tergrid. Opponent, sure. We'll take 3. Untaps the Lantern. We will take 3. I mean, if we don't draw something, we are just going to lose to this because... All right, opponent's going to get fancy. Deadly Dispute. Go to combat. Attack you. Opponent takes it. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps the Lantern. Well, sack the treasure. Draw a couple cards. Oh, we will take 3. We found the Tergrid, but is it too late? Can we even resolve it? Oh, we could use a discard spell. That's what we really need. Opponent will discard a Crippling Fear. I mean, the question's going to be, can we resolve Tergrid? If we can win this race. Lantern. We will discard a Flunk. Opponent. Lantern. I don't think they have a counter. That's good news. That's real good news. 5, 6, 7, 8. We will take 3. Opponent. Passing. Ooh, and the Devour Intellect. Go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent. Devour Intellect off the treasure. Make sure there's not a counter. Opponent Soul Shatters. That's actually perfectly fine. That's actually better for us, I think. Oh, except we can't get rid of the swamp. All right, land. Lantern. Activate. Untap. Activate. Oh, we're going to lose the war. We drew it too late. We needed our opponent not to have that land in hand. That land is going to win our opponent the game. That land wins our opponent the game. Well, we will lose 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they have. Wow. Oh, we didn't draw the Tergrid in time. And if our opponent had not had that land in hand, we would have won. We would have made them sack the Lantern. Oh my goodness. Wow, that was close. We were both playing a Tergrid game plan, and our opponent drew theirs first. Budget Magic time. We are playing some Mono Black Treasure Discard in Standard 2022. And we'll keep this. Opponent, Snow-Covered Plains, Monk of the Open Hand. Oh, some removal would be nice. We might actually just, I think we just Devour Intellect here. A little bit weird non-Thoughtseize mode, but our opponent's on the mulligan and they're on the play. Like, hopefully we can just get them empty-handed pretty fast. Opponent, land. Paladin class. Another 1-drop. All right, well, that's what our opponent's got. We get to get the last card out of their hand. We draw the swamp. We play the swamp. We Devour Intellect. Get rid of your last card. Play an Eye Twitch. And hope we draw some removal. All right, opponent with a pretty good draw gets to level up Paladin class. Hit us for 6. No blocks. Now play the land. Skullport Merchant. Pass the turn. Wow! Miraculously good running from our opponent. Jeez. Now, Skullport Merchant. Soul Shatter. Pass the turn. Can they do it again? Basically, if they're going to draw a land, might as well be the best land. We will kill this and block this. Actually, let's block with Eye Twitch. Actually, we might need that. Okay, kill and jump. Stay at 6. Opponent passes. Plaka, Cave. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Fires up Faceless Haven. Goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we block. We block and sack. Draw a card, get a lesson. Probably just taking Mascot Exhibition. Flunk is actually pretty decent. Play the land, pass the turn. So we can flunk the Faceless Haven. And now we're going to have to decide if we Deadly Dispute this Skullport Merchant. Opponent combat. Attacks. Well, we will block. We will flunk. Are we doing it? I think we're doing it. I mean, this guarantees we get to Mascot Exhibition. Actually, this might even be better. Let's Tergrid. Land Elderfang. Hopefully steal something. Their deck is full of permanents. Yes, we'll take a Code Spell Cleric. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Portable Hole, sure. Oh, I think we're good. Wow, that Skyclave off the top gave us a bit of a start, but I think we got there. Mascot Exhibition. That was close. Hit ya. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Whew! The discard got there against the aggro deck. Levels up, sure. Goes attacking. Well, we'll just do some chumping. We draw another land. Go to combat. Attack, 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 attack. Opponent takes it down to 8. And opponent scoops it up. Wow. Whoo! That Skyclave made it close, but in the end, Devouring the Intellect got the job done. Sweet. Budget magic time. We are playing some mono black discard, and seeing is interesting. We have infinite removal, but we're not really doing much for the near future. Huh, ramp? Well, pass the turn. Actually, do we flunk this? I think we actually just flunk this. Our opponent ramping is a bit scary. What we want to do is just slow our opponent down and then... Oh, Innkeeper, okay. Land? All right, we do get the land. So, Inscription, discard 2. Innkeeper, Eureka Moment. So opponent's definitely ramp. Another Innkeeper. Gonna start gaining life, that's not a big deal. Skullport Merchant would be a good draw. Acquisitions Expert. Well, make you discard. Take the Cultivator. Devour Intellect. Make you discard. Cyclone Summoner. Land for our opponent. Do they have card draw? Azeka's Chariot. So Azeka's Chariot is good. Although Soul Shatter is a good answer. And we're still working towards a Tergrid once we hit our lands. Opponent passes. Well, pass the turn. We do need to hit our lands, though. If we just keep not hitting lands, this Chariot and the tokens it made could be a problem. Opponent untaps. Foretells, presumably an extra turn spell. Fires up the Chariot. Well, we will Soul Shatter. Take our beats. Draw a land. I guess we pass awkwardly. Quandrix Cultivator to get a land. Oh, we just need the lands for this Tergrid, and we're in pretty spectacular shape. This Foretold card does worry me, because it's got to be the extra turn spell. Opponent goes attacking. Well, get rid of the Cultivator. Take our beats. Well, that is a land. Ugh. Well, we got to run out the Acquisitions Expert. 2 of them does let us block. No attacks. Opponent untaps. Foretells. Oh, that's got to be more extra turns. Goes attacking. Block, block. Pray for Tergrid lands. Go to 11. Well, that's land, land. Tergrid. Got a Fright. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Passes. Deadly Dispute's interesting. I'll go to combat. Attack ya. Opponent takes it. Well, we'll pass the turn. If our opponent gets to 6 mana, things are sketchy. Opponent goes attacking. Soul Shatter. Get an Innkeeper. Double block. Kill the cat. Sack the treasure to draw a couple cards. Ooh, hopefully they have something good in hand. Elderfang Disciple. Give us something good. Give us something good. Cyclone Summoner. Yes, we do want it. This is all permanents, right? Sack the treasure. No, sack the treasure. Oh, it's only if you cast it from hand. I'm kind of an idiot. Well, we're going to sack it anyway. Tergrid's Lantern. Activate. Go attacking. Let's leave that back. Go attacking. Opponent takes it. If they get land, they probably take 2 extra turns in a row, which could beat us. Opponent. Glasspool Mimic. Okay, so that's going to get our opponent lands next turn. I think we can survive the extra turn spells. So our opponent's going to be able to start taking extra turns, at least 1. I'll go to combat. Go attacking. Opponent goes to 5. Well, Lantern goes to 2. Untap. Lantern. If they sack the treasure, then they don't have 6 mana. If they sack the innkeeper, all right, they sack the innkeeper. We steal the innkeeper. We get a treasure. And this lets us play Acquisitions Expert to gain some life. All right, here we go, opponent. Take those extra turns. But without a bigger threat, I don't think the extra turns win the game. Like, we're up to 16. Sure, chain them together. Opponent's gonna have to go like extra turns into Cyclone Summoner or something. Opponent. Yeah, Epiphany number 2. Gains some life, gets in with the Flyers. Well, we'll see. We'll see what our opponent drew. They do need to follow this up with something, or they're still pretty dead. Coma. Coma's good, but I don't think it beats us. Opponent gains a life off the Coma. So opponent has 1,000,000 birds. They got a Coma. Wow, maybe they did draw just enough to get there. All creatures that aren't the chosen type. So if we choose rogue, human, giant, god, halfling, crippling fear, name giant, Tergrid's Lantern, sacks the treasure, attack with Cyclone Summoner. Wow, they blocked. Okay, we will accept. We will accept. I was expecting them to go to 1. Opponent untaps. Wow, they hit another. Oh, that's actually fine, I think. They hit another Coma. Tergrid's Lantern. Opponent takes it. Untap. Tergrid's Lantern. Are we still gonna get there? Sacks. Go to combat. Attack with both. Menace on Tergrid. Opponent's gotta jump the giant. Oh. Opponent is drawing Coma into Coma, and we're still fighting through. Double Coma, land, death. Wow, mono black discard. That was insane. Our opponent drew so we got them in the early game by killing their ramp and slowing things down. We were pretty sure they had 2 Auron's Epiphanies foretold. The one way they could get back in the game was chain those Epiphanies into something big, and they did with Coma. We managed to deal with that. Our opponent immediately empty-handed top-decked another Coma, and we still beat it. I think that's the first time I've ever beat 2 Comas in a row. Ever in my life. Yeah, mono black discard. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Budget Magic time. We are playing some mono black treasure discard. Yeah, we'll pass. We got our Tergrids, which is nice. Opponent. All right, opponent's on a treasure deck. Gets and hits us. Ugh. Well, that's Acquisitions Expert. Make a discard. We probably can get our opponent empty-handed pretty quickly here. Like, maybe as soon as next turn. All right, take the Valky. Opponent. Also, somehow this shuts down our opponent's offense pretty well. Grixis and foretells. And passes. Well, Devour Intellect. Make a discard. Devour Intellect. Make a discard. Play the land. Pass the turn. Well, come on, lands. Lands for Tergs. Another Shambling Ghast is acceptable. Not a land. Interesting. Well, let's pass. I mean, potentially block, sack, draw. They could have a counter spell hidden away. Deadly Dispute. Draw 2. Make a treasure, hopefully. All right. That's good. And we get a land, which is good. I'll play the land. Elderfang. Make a discard. Sure. Now we will pass the turn. What do they have foretold? All right, opponent plays a land. It goes attacking. We will take it. Untap. Ooh, Skullport is pretty decent. I mean, we could also just run out Tergrid. Yeah, I mean, we're going to do it. We came here to Tergrid. Tergrid we shall. Your go. Please don't top deck removal. And this turns on the Soul Shatter to steal something. Opponent. Passing. Well, we will eye twitch. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. No, Soul Shatter. Not the best steal, but something. We'll take a treasure. We are a treasure deck, sort of. All right, Tergrid 1. Untap. Elder Fang. We're not going to pay with the treasure. An opponent does not like having their card stolen and scoops it up in mono black discard. Kind of crushing people. Sweet. Budget magic time. We are playing some mono black discard in a standard 2022 rotated standard. So basically, mono black treasure discard. All right. Block of predation, go. We got lots of removal. We have a lot of removal. Opponent appears to be dragoning. It would be nice to draw some non-removal at some point. Opponent, land. Ugh, so many cards foretold. I'll play the land, pass the turn. We can cleanly answer dragons, which is nice. Well, Skullport Merchant. Pass the turn. All right, opponent's gonna make a treasure. That's fine. Make a treasure, do some looting, try to find their land drops. Discard a bunch of removal. Oh, this does mean Goldspan can come down this turn, which is awkward. Huh. Yeah, that is not ideal. Faceless Haven. Goldspan Dragon. Well, flunk it. Opponent gets a treasure. Do they have a counter? Of course. Gets it with Goldspan, gets a treasure. It's us. Do they have another counter? Land. Soul Shatter. All right. Well, we successfully answered a Goldspan. Not clean and easy, but it was killed. Dead. Opponent. Land. Another Goldspan. Well, flunk. Do you have a counter now? No. Opponent passes. Well, play the land. Go to combat, hit ya. Pass the turn. Opponent taps. Many treasures. So this must be Elrond's Epiphany. Elrond's Epiphany without a dragon is not as scary, though. Opponent. Passing. Huh. Upkeep stop, eh? Huh. What are they doing? Ah, Magma Opus. All right. Was not exactly expecting that. Well, sack Skullport. Get a treasure, draw some cards. Ooh, they'll draw a million lands. That's not great. Elderfang Disciple. Make you discard. Land Thoughtseize you. Get rid of the Goldspan number million. Pass the turn. Boot it. Land. Fires up the Faceless Haven. I think we'd rather kill this. Yeah. Opponent hits us. No blocks. Down to 8. Well, playing Eye Twitch. Get in for 1, pass the turn. Opponent passes. I'll go to combat. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Opponent's just waiting to draw something to Elrond's Epiphany, I think. Opponent combat hits us. Block with Eye Twitch. Oh, they might have drawn a counter. They might have also been not wanting us to get Mascot Exhibition and trying to wait until they drew a counter. That's interesting. Yeah, let's Mascot Exhibition. Oh, so they did draw the counter, play the land, pass the turn. I mean, opponent has to get below us in cards for their lesson to do anything, though. Kills our dork. Gotta be Epiphany, right? It's gotta be. I guess land Epiphany is a lot of damage. Opponent. Passing. Now, land. Mascot Exhibition. Opponent. Please, no more counters. No mas. Opponent. Thinking. Wow, okay. It was a saw coming the whole time. Interesting. That was unexpected. With some serious patience. Wow, so many counters. So many counters. Also Magma Opus. Prismari Command. Loots. Makes a treasure. Yeah, we might be dead now. We really needed some of our cards to resolve, but apparently that was not in the cards. Opponent finds the extra turn spell, presumably. Wow, foretells a... Wow! All right. All right, all right. Opponent passes. Now, Inscription. Get back Elderfang. Make you discard. But we can't be Elrond's Epiphanies here. Land. Elrond's Epiphany. Oh, yeah. Our opponent drawing into 2 of those in a row is just deadly. Well, we needed to resolve a card and we never did. About it. Elrond's Epiphany. I mean, I don't even think it matters here. Like, even if they don't have Elrond's Epiphany, we're dead. Opponent hits us. Passes. More Schwamps. Well, you can't win them all. The disappointing part is, I actually think that's a pretty good matchup for our deck. Budget Magic time. We are playing some Mono Black Discard in Standard 2022. Treasure Discard, and this is fine. Could use a way to make a treasure, but eye twitches are decent. Opponent. Schwamp. All right, Angels. Well, play a land, play an eye twitch. Pass the turn. Opponent. Righteous Valkyrie. Grows the dork. Well, let's block. Grab a lesson. What do we take? Probably Necrotic Fumes. More Tergrid. So we'll play the land. Kill the Righteous Valkyrie. Yeah, let's stay on defense. Pass the turn. All right, more lands for our opponent. More Youthful Valkyries. Ay! Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's going to be a tough start to beat. We're going to need to draw a lot of removal and draw it real quick. Well, get it past summonings. Well, Flunk is removal. How can we do this? I'll make our opponent discard. And then this lets us kill the biggest Youthful Valkyrie. Pass the turn. Come on, no more angels. No more angels. We can't deal with more angels. Oh, that's not just more angels. That's a million more angels. That's like the last card we wanted to see. Opponent hits us. Skullport Merchant. Yeah. All right. Sure. Well, that Legion Angel was not what we wanted to see. Oh, that Thoughtseize would have been so much better if we had drawn a treasure. Budget Magic time. We are playing some Mono Black Discard in Standard 2022. And we'll keep about it. Appears to be a green deck. Well, this could go well. We got discard, 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 double removal. See how fast of a start our opponent can get off to. Opponent. Storm Shambler, sure. Play a land. Elderfang Disciple. Make a discard. Devouring Tendrils, eh? Opponent, Forest. And passes. Well, play a land. Acquisitions Expert. Make you discard. We get 2 options. Man, if we draw a land, we can pretty much get our opponent empty-handed. Take the Snakeskin Veil. Oh, we're close. We're close to having our opponent empty-handed, which is kind of where we want to be. Land Azeka's Chariot is probably what we're most scared of. Not that that's unbeatable, but it is super obnoxious. Opponent, land. Lisette, interesting. Ooh, the land is very, very good. Acquisitions Expert, make you discard. Take the Ranger class. What does this do? When you gain life, you can pay 1 to put counters on your stuff. You know what? I think we just empty the hand. All right, hand empty. Please don't draw some random life gain spell. That would be a blowout. Opponent. All right, just a land, that's fine. I think we're in wonderful shape now. Now we just want like a Tergrid or something to close out this game. Palaka Predation. Pass the turn. So we can flunk Lisette. Not even growing the Swarm Shambler. Opponent. Passing. Actually, you know what? Let's Deadly Dispute. Sag and Elderfang. Draw a couple cards. Opponent passes. There's a Skullport. That's a good draw. Play Palaka Predation. Skullport Merchant. All right, we're basically just looking for Tergrid now. Although we can use this Skullport to start drawing cards. And we have our opponent's threats pretty well covered with triple removal spell. Opponent combat. Well, sack a treasure, draw a card. Come on, Tergrid. Wow, so many Soul Shatters. Oh, yes. Tergrid. God of Fright. That's what we were looking for. That is what we were looking for. Now the real fun begins. Assuming our opponent does not just scoop. I mean, as long as we untap with Tergrid, we just steal our opponent's board. Sure, Gross Storm Shambler, that's fine. And if our opponent has a fight spell, we can probably fizzle it. Blizzard Brawl. Well, flunk it. Keep the Tergrid. Oh, an opponent scoops it up. We even draw the Devour Intellect there, so we could have taken the last card from their hand. If it's a permanent, we steal it. Soul Shatter, take the Lisette, and then, I mean, I don't know how we lose from there. I do not know how we lose from there. Well, that was a good example of what a Mono Black Treasure discard can do. Whew. Sweet, sweet. So what did we learn this week about Mono Black Treasure discard in Standard 2022? And overall, record-wise, I played a bunch of games with the deck, tuning it, brewing it. I'm like at exactly 50% win rate, which, I mean, not super exciting, but 50% is not bad for a deck that is ridiculously cheap, and it's just like really fun. Tergrid, I know it's not a fun commander card, but it's a really fun standard card, trying to manipulate the game to get down Tergrid and steal good stuff, and we got to see the power of Tergrid in some matchups. We got to see it stealing like Planeswalkers. We got to see it stealing Goldspan Dragons. We got to see opponents scooping just at the threat of Tergrid into discard, knowing that we were going to steal their stuff and be able to take it and win the game with it. The treasures synergies are pretty sweet. I actually really like Devour Intellect. That was a card that I think maybe overperformed a little bit. Going in, I was like, are we going to have a treasure often enough? But in reality, it ended up being pretty good because we found a lot of games where just one mana discard a card was fine. Like, we were able to use our other discard effects to get our opponent low on cards, and then use Devour Intellect to just like finish off our opponent's hand. The treasure synergies, not super powerful, but they do have some nice synergy, being able to draw us through our deck, which I think is important. One of the risks of playing a discard deck like this is it is possible that we just draw a bunch of discard, cast a bunch of discard, kind of clear out our opponent's hands, but then just keep drawing more discard and not really be able to close out the game after emptying our opponent's hand, not find the Tergrid or whatever. And being able to draw extra cards really helps with that. I think that's a really key addition to the deck. So I think overall, Mono Black Treasure discard, I think it's a pretty reasonable deck. I wouldn't be surprised to see something along these lines after Innistrad maybe be pretty effective. I think Tergrid's a sleeper to keep an eye out for in Standard, because Tergrid, it's just a powerful card. It's not powerful by Eldraine standards, but a 4 or 5 menace for 5 with the upside of being an MDFC and the backside sometimes being a really good finisher and being able to steal your opponent's stuff. I think there might be a place for Tergrid in Standard after rotation as far as upgrading the deck, because this is a budget build. Easiest thing you can do to improve the deck, Snowlands and Faceless Haven. That's something I really wanted in the deck, but for rare lands, you just don't have that much room under the budget to play a playset of a utility land like Faceless Haven. So that's an easy upgrade. Snowlands, Faceless Haven. Otherwise, you can play it exactly the same. Other interesting cards, a couple of Lilianas or Professor Onyxes on the top end of the curve, I think could be pretty appealing. But in general, I'm pretty happy with how the budget build turned out. So if you like to make your opponent discard, if you like to steal their stuff, I think it's a reasonably competitive and super budget-friendly option for Standard 2022, and probably for Standard after rotation as well. So that's Mono Black Treasure discard. That's our budget magic for this week. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.